Hello again, it's Loop Dark Snout here, and last time we left the rollout code creator rolling out code. This time we're going to see what it rolled out. There's a little bit of a speed bump here. I pat it down best I can. We get back to business, but if you've been watching this series since the early episodes or even the start, well, I commend you on your patience. But also, this is probably one of the big jumps because you'll be able to tell that it's like, hey, this is leagues beyond what you have seen up to this point. So you can kind of see the playback evolving. It's getting closer to what I touted in the first episode, because you do see a few seconds of the final result, so I can do it. But until this episode, it kind of looked, yeah, that's kind of crap. But kind of crap becomes good crap. And this is what I envisioned from the start. But tell you, seeing it come to life was very motivating at the time. I'm surprised I did it. Anyway, let's watch.
Well, this is almost it. Second last frame after 2 days and probably about 4 or 5 hours. And this is the last. It's funny because, it's all black, but it still takes the same amount of care and concern to create the code that runs it later. Come on. Now, this should be it at the end here. One final write, and everything's over. Yep. So there it is. 2 days, 5.5 hours to do 8,730 frames. So now my BBT should be nothing but pretty much 45 pages of rolled out code, 8,730 times, hopefully separated into little buffers like this, and everything should hopefully work as expected. I guess I'm going to find out in the morning because it's almost 3 a.m. Time for bed. Well, I'm not going to find out in the morning. I'll find out in the afternoon. You know how it is. Anyway, okay, so here's hoping it's going to work. All right, Joe. All right. I guess I should turn it down from high speed. Not like this makes a difference. I am doing a very, very crude test just to see if look. That's it. I just want to see if my code works, where it brings in the frames. And it's very crudely, I just made this. I had to figure out by hand the values that the buffers are going to use, which video bank, So none of the color decoding is in place. It's only doing these first 4 or 5 buffers and just looping them. Because the code that does this nicely is not even close to written. So it's a mess, right? That's about it. And came up with this multiplication routine. I guess it's been done before, but it works. But anyways, yes. I don't know if I'm going to continue this tonight. I'm just thrilled that I got it this far. Nice. And of course, because of that multiplication routine, as long as I keep it on something that ends in 10, it won't choke. And I won't have to do anything special. See? Nice. But if I use a different number, it's going to start bringing in these, which are written somewhere else, like up here. And my code is at C1000. I guess I could fix that, shouldn't I? But anyway, let's just change it and make it die. Do that. Now this should kill it. Yep, it's not ready for it. And I think it's probably pooched now. Let's see if it's not. Yep, it's wrecked. Haha, whatever. I wrote over stuff that I shouldn't have, right? But anyway, yeah, cool. I guess I Oh man, this is exciting because now I get to make the code that actually plays the thing properly. The only difference is at the moment, there's absolutely no consideration for the sound, but I don't need that yet. Make the video work first, squeeze in the sound later. The sound is going to be the easy part, which is crazy because that used to be the hard part, right? But whatever, okay. Yeah, I'm struggling just trying to get this thing to display. Here's an interesting error. Look at this. My entire program has been changed to this. The line numbers are right. Everything else is not. Makes me want to watch something on Disney Plus, it does. Well, it's a little after 1 a.m. I've been playing PS2 for a couple hours. And then it came to me why it was crashing. This guy. I turned it off. Well, this is still fudgeries, but check it out. It's jumping through every 10 frames because whatever, right? I was about to give up on this because I could have sworn it wasn't working, but it is. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do to make this thing look pretty and grab all the frames properly, but whatever. I am still on the right path here. Good stuff. Another super crude hack. For some reason, I can't get it to play properly with interrupts and stuff. I borrowed a lot of code from the Wolves on the BackBit thing, and it's kind of a mismatch of elegant and not elegant. So I might just print this out and restructure it if I have time at work and come up with something a little better than this. I'm just fudging it. I'm just grabbing 10 frames and slamming them down again. My color unpacker does not work. I think that crashes everything too. So I might activate it just to see if it's truly screwed up now that I got it this far. Well, I figured out why my color is crashing. Well, this is it. This is the first version I wrote for the unpacker. And then I made a revelation here, basically this. So anytime it sees a positive value in the unpacking stream, it uses that as the next offset to go to. Anything that's a negative gets plotted. Yeah, so anyway, what did I do wrong? This is taken as the next offset. So it just goes boop, 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 and it never finishes. I was supposed to figure out exactly how many zeros in a row it is. Say there's like, well, what is it? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 to the next one. So that should have been a value of 13, at which point it's positive. It throws Y here and immediately grabs that. And since it's negative, it plots those colors, plots those colors, plots those colors. And this is supposed to be, I think, 1, 2, whatever this value is, I guess 24, because it takes it directly. I screwed up bad, which means I have to go back and redo this BBT, 2 days worth of processing. That's assuming I get, I get it right. I could probably, it would be a pain just to go in and make a correction on the frames, on the color RAM themselves. I'd have to find them. I could make it automated, but it's just easier to fix the flaw in the first place and redo the damn thing. So 2 more days of chewing away on a BBT just so I can, oh man, whatever. At least I figured this out because, yeah, it was gonna drive me nuts. Now here is the revised packed color. I fixed the thing. Anyway, this is where it's being stored on the rollout creator program. And let's see. Now let's start at, now everything happens in terms of, here, let's turn this white. It deals with 128 bytes at a time. And I made sure that the 127th byte, or the last byte of the half page, is always negative. It'll always be sending those 2 colors. And what I did is I actually, to create, because all these used to be zeros, all the positive values used to be 0. What I did is, you start here, and this is the clever part. I might show this code on the screen at the same time. Basically, if you start at 127, if it's not 0, put that y value into the x. Then you go backwards from there. If it's 0, store x there instead, because now it points here. And as you go back, if that's 0, you put x there, and all these, see? And then when we get to here, it's no longer a 0 value. This becomes the new x. And then this was a 0, this was a 0, this was a 0. And as you can see, 70, 71, 72, 73. So it's actually, instead of having like, I don't even have to find out when the first 0 is. I just start writing the last valid value until we get something new that overthrows it. Now this one will be 62, right? And sure enough, even though when it's unpacking it, like the very first one it reads, it'll read this one and it'll say, oh, that's a positive. So it'll jump to 2. Negative, it'll write those 2 colors. Whether one was new, like from the previous frame to the new frame, if either of those colors or both, it will, if either of the colors are different or both of them are different, it'll write both anyway. That's just the way I have this thing designed. Same thing with here. And now this is a 5. Well, big deal. It jumps ahead 1, right? But now it's an 18, well, a 24. And it'll jump here. 2C jumps to 2C. Does those colors. 4B, you see how quick it is on the unpack? This is rather fast when the color doesn't change much between frames. So that's cool. So what I was doing before I get this thing rolling, I spent some time tonight speeding this up, and I really didn't need to, because I mean, when you change stuff, you're inviting the possibility of new bugs. But so this is the rollout buffer, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 to whatever, and as it works. This is the DO21 color, DO22, DO23. Now I changed lots of buffers today. Here's the new locations. This way, I am allowing myself to have a 16K audio buffer. Now I am just preparing to do it a different style. Instead of the way I used to do it with the Wolves on the BackBit. Back on Wolves on the BackBit Part 5, I did it a different way for a while. And I might go back to that, because this will allow me to not have to struggle with the color. Well, I guess I'll explain this more later, but I'm thinking there is a possibility I might be able to pull off, what is it? Well, instead of 8 kilohertz audio, 16 kilohertz, possibly, by using a rollout method to write the audio buffers as well. And I'm going to, sorry guys. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to check this out further. Well, yeah. It's all good. Yeah, so here's a few of the ones that are 8E now. Should that be? Yep, it's exactly where it needs to be. Good. So that's working out. I got a feeling this code is going to work well. And now I can power down, get rid of this guy. And, well, let's see here. Before you go, 1.04. I'll show you some of the revisions. Clever stuff. Let's see here. Well, this didn't change much. This changed a little. Now, you see, well, take a look at the whole thing. X at line 4290 is always going to be the low byte of the location, and 4320 parameter high byte is going to be the high byte sent for this particular instruction that it's creating. But let's see here. Well, this isn't nothing special. I had to tweak this a little, but here's where the speed boost comes in, right about here. Check it out. Basically, I set my character set locations based on the buffer. So like buffer 1, for instance, character set is at 2800. So I put that into param HB, and here, let's freeze this. So this is a quick loop now. We get the value that we want to look for, like whether it's 1, 2, 3, whatever, and compare it, self-modifying code. If it's equal, we go down here, we send it, and X is the low byte, param HB is the high byte, so I don't have to mess with that anymore. Previously, I had to load, store, just to prepare to send the parameter, so that saves a bit of time. But here's the biggie. It's basically comparing it. If it's equal, go deal with it, prepare to increment, and if it's not, we go right back here. So most of the time, it's doing just this. And every page, increment the working high byte, because this is the real location that we want to write to, but this is the temporary location that we're looking at. Oh man, it's kind of confusing. Yes, but it don't matter. I think you guys get the gist of it. I guess I'm rambling. I'm going to press stop now and get this thing rolling. Anyway, well, I will show you in the next few seconds here how fast it is compared to the previous version. I still think it's going to take probably 1.5 days anyway, but check it out. It's a little quicker now. I just realized, well, looking back at my footage for something to compare against, surprisingly, I did not record a lot of this, but on average, I think it was about 21 or 22 seconds, give or take, for every frame. And well, you can see that this is clearly faster. So, I mean, it's about 12 seconds now. Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, I didn't have to improve this, but, you know, how many times am I going to use this in my life? Probably this is probably it. Who knows? But this is more of a demo. Like, can I do it? Well, the challenge is there, and I think the answer is yes. So it's coming along nicely now. And great. I'm loving the fact that this thing is motoring through this, because I hate waiting 2 days for this, but it'll be cool. And besides, if I do blunder it somehow, well, at least it won't be 2 whole days to redo it again. Because I think I didn't make any mistakes, but that's what mistakes are, right? Because you think you have it right, but you don't. But you don't know it until you see it. Anyway, we'll let this thing go at it, and we'll see what happens in, well, let's see, in about 9,000 frames, 10 seconds each. Well, more than 10, 90,000. There's about 87,000 seconds in a day. So, yeah.
So we have the rollout rolling out one more time. And in the next episode, well, it'll finish that rollout and I'll see what I got. But, well, next time I'm kind of excited because I'm pretty sure I can get the video finished, like playing nicely in one night. Can I do it? Tune in and find out.